The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Hello and welcome to the next episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies. With special guest, Tim Davis. This is the podcast where all three of us went and saw a movie at our local Regal Cinema Theater. And now we're going to talk about it. In not Matt's Honda Pilot, we are in Marie's Toyota RAV4. And we're going to talk about such things as, should you see this movie? Should you not see this movie? Can you bring a date? Should you go by yourself? Do you need to bring your family? Do you need to pay attention to every single detail? Can you slack off and nap, snack, or craft? Or, you know, are you going to escape for a couple of hours and just kind of let the world slide you by, which is, I guess, all we can ever hope for. I am Todd Domer.
And I'm Matt Malloy, and I'm all for letting the world slide you by.
Slide you by.
Slide you right on by. Well, we saw a movie. This movie is called Predator Badlands. It is the next installment in the Predator universe. And we've got all kinds of things to talk about here. It has a very small cast, but Tim, are there any notables in this cast?
There are not a big cast nor a lot of big names, but Elle Fanning shows up in this as a synthetic human from the Alien franchise, which has some interesting appearances and lore into this Predator movie. She's, of course, obviously, you know, of the Fanning family of actors. She got her start in the Maleficent movies back in the day, and as well as Spielberg's Super 8. And I remember her fondly from her Catherine the Great show on Hulu, which I recommend to everybody. But that is it as far as big cast names. And then we have the director of this is the same director, his name's Dan Trachtenberg, who did Prey, which kind of also started this Predator renaissance here. And apparently he's been given basically the keys to the kingdom of the franchise, and I think we'll get into why that's maybe a good thing.
That we will. We will get into all kinds of things. But first, what is Predator Badlands all about? Well, it's about a young predator creature named Deck, who...
a Yautja.
A Yautja is their tribe. Yes.
That's right. That's their species, I guess. Anyway, he goes off on a quest to prove himself to a death planet with an unkillable creature that he decides he wants to kill to prove his worth as a Yautja. And he meets up with Elle Fanning's character twice because she plays a synthetic human and another synthetic human, both played by her. He finds one of them, befriends her, and they travel around and have adventures on the Death Planet, and he learns all about different things and tries to hunt the unkillable beast. Meanwhile, the other Elle Fanning character is leading a bunch of other synthetics who are trying to also capture this unkillable creature. So they face off in a battle of sorts to the death, and yeah, that's what this movie's about. Fun, adventures, learning about love and life in the Yautja land.
And honor.
Of course. How could we not? Well, Todd, what is your impression of Predator Badlands?
Well, I'm going to land on I like this movie, for sure. But that's not to say it doesn't have some problems. And I honestly think the biggest problem is that they made this PG-13. And the entire middle of the movie is an example of a PG-13 Predator movie. And I was not the biggest fan of the middle of the movie. I thought it started hot and it ended hot. But the middle got a little, let's explore all these different tropes with a predator. And, excuse me, it just, it slowed everything down a lot and didn't hit with me in some areas. Like at one point we're just seeing these giant sprawling shots of them walking, like in different landscapes. And I was like, I don't need to see a predator in a Lord of the Rings movie. Like, there's not everything that needs to be done. Like, I can get it. Like, we were exploring a lot of different tropes that a predator would never find themselves in. And I liked that aspect, but I felt it needed to be reined in a little bit in the middle, like I said. But otherwise, I thought the start of the movie is great. I thought when you get to like a little bit before the climax and then the actual climax and the resolution, I thought was really good. And even the middle, while I thought like there was times where I was like, we're stretching this, like, or things got really slow too fast for me. Like, you know, it was still good. It just was like it really felt like they hit the brake pedal. Like, I thought things really slowed down, and I was like, just at one point I was like, can we just start killing some things again? Like, can we get some action? Like, but like, that's not a deterrent, because I thought it was a good movie. I have liked the Dan Trachtenberg Predator movies. I think they explore the Predator universe in a way that we've never seen, and that's what I've always wanted, because you just can't keep telling the same Predator movies. Like, not every Predator movie can be Predator shows up, hunts people, then becomes hunted at one point. Like, it's just like you need to explore different things. So now this movie explores like Predator lore. It kind of explores the home planet a little bit. It kind of explores the culture and the clan aspects of each like Predator clan. And I just thought that was all fascinating to me. Like, I was like ready to learn that stuff or see that stuff. We haven't really seen it. Yeah. So I like the idea that this guy is taking the Predator franchise into all new areas. It just like I said, I really felt like the biggest problem with this movie was that it was PG-13, which is like, I don't want the Predator movies to lose its edge. Like, that's what I'm scared of when we move things into PG-13. You see a lot of Predator injuries and you see a lot of synthetic injuries, but that's like really about it. Like, and that's how they were able to do things that were super violent, but it was like still in the PG-13 realm. While I appreciate them exploring, I just don't want that to take over. So that leaves me a little bit hesitant towards the future, but I did like this movie, so I'm going to be very excited for the next one. I think this one ends in a way that I'm like, well, okay, I'm excited to see what comes next. If anything comes next, like...
Well, based on how it did, yeah, I think we will.
Right. So, yeah, I like this movie. Like I said, it slowed down. I would have picked some things out of it, but I liked the representation of everything that was in there. I liked the Weyland-Yutani stuff, like, because you can't have a bad guy movie without Weyland-Yutani, because apparently they're the worst corporation to ever exist. So, yeah, I mean, I say go see it. Obviously, if you're a fan of these movies, or even if you just need a night to escape, I thought this was a great escape movie. Like, you can pick out great things because you've seen a Predator movie, but if you have never seen a Predator movie, I do think you can walk into this movie and you'll be okay, at least, because they do an okay job of establishing what things are, what's happening, why it's happening. Like, I thought the delivery of all that stuff was good. You're not totally lost, I don't think, anywhere through the movie. And not seeing the other movies almost has no impact on this movie. Like, I think this could be your first Predator movie if you wanted it to be. I don't suggest that, but it could be. So, I want to see more of these movies, so I'm going to land on go see it in the theaters, support it with your money so we can see more, because that's what I would like to do. Tim?
Yes, I am with you, Todd. I am happy with this director and his vision for the Predator franchise. I wouldn't even say I was like, all about like Predator's great, I can't wait to see more, but this revisiting of the world has made me go, you know what, those can be fun movies, and now we're learning more about it. It's not just a slasher in the jungle like the first couple, and even Prey, when I loved Prey, being a fresh approach to that, was still a old-fashioned Predator movie, you could say, whereas this one just explored a whole new angle to it, where the Predator is the protagonist, and we haven't seen that yet. And I think the part, as far as the middle goes, where we're trying to, humanize him, or at least get you to care about him as a person or as a creature, by having him react with this synthetic human and another alien on the planet. I think all that worked because we've never seen a Predator in that setting, and having him have to react to, people hunting along with him. Like half the movie, he's saying, "Predators hunt, Yautjas hunt alone. We don't have, this is not about being with people." And then he had to learn being part of a clan in a different way. And I thought it opened up the Predator to a much more interesting thing, where he was still a predator, but was learning things along the way. And I thought it actually helped the movie a lot. I thought, Elle Fanning, I thought, did a great job. Because synthetic roles, I'm sure, are fun for actors to play, where you're half robot, half human, and get to play with your emotions. And in this, she spends half this movie a torso, and obviously using special effects. And I thought that it looked pretty good and held up. And I thought like her character was there to kind of make the Predator feel more not like this scary alien who's out to kill people with one purpose. Like it helped give him more depth and made him a protagonist you want to follow, which is something we've criticizing this year as far as like heroes of movies not being likable. And I thought this was a likable Predator while still being a Predator who's out to kill things and really only wants to prove his honor, but yet make him honorable in a way that even humans like us can understand and go, all right, yeah, I get this guy. And I think, like I said, it helps build the lore, and that like maybe we have other Predators who don't believe in such honor or don't believe things should be that way, and they just want to kill. And I think that adds more dimension to the world itself. And like you said, the visuals in this movie were pretty great. We saw some creatures and things on the planet that are just like, whoa, that's different, that's new. This planet of death, and it was really interesting. So I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie, and I definitely recommend it. Especially if you're a Predator fan, this really opens up the world to a whole bunch of new possibilities, I think, going forward. And clearly this director has ideas, and I'm intrigued to see what more ideas he has. So I'm big thumbs up here. Matt?
Well, I liked a lot of the same things that you guys did in this movie. What really kind of kept me interested and kept me afloat was the big finish, and I felt like that's what kind of pulled it out of the middling ground for me.
Okay. It was a very satisfying finale. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. What I liked the big visuals. I liked the different creatures that we saw and all their different little powers that we learn about. That was all good stuff. Elle Fanning did great.
Yeah, I love Elle Fanning.
And what I didn't like was the slowness that you mentioned, Todd, in the middle of the movie. And I didn't really, until the end, I really disliked the main Predator character. I thought he was pretty dumb and pretty bad at being a Predator. But
I think this was his journey of...
It was a little bit of a hero's journey.
Right.
But he came from such a low place in my mind. Yeah. I was like, this guy, I don't know if I want him to survive or not. Yeah. But he did get there by the end, and he figured some things out, and he became a superb fighter in a short amount of time, which, okay, we can wave our hands at that. But yeah, he turned it around and was there for the big finale, and I would say there's a couple meaningful finales in this movie. Yeah. And he finally came through at the end. So I would say if we didn't have the finale, I would be pretty lukewarm on this movie. Gotcha. But the journey and the growth that's finally shown at the end brings me to a good place where I could recommend seeing this movie. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Nice. Well, getting down to it, how many spitting monkeys would you give this movie, which comes into play a little bit here? 0 being the worst, because then you have no monkeys that are spitting, and that's just weird. What are you doing? And then 5 being the best, because then you have 5 monkeys just spitting, and
you got a claim.
It gets a little weird, but it's great.
Yeah. Well.
So, Matt?
I'm going to come in with 2.9 spitting monkeys out of 5. Like I said, the end really kind of pulled this up by its bootstraps for this movie for me, and brought it out of mediocrity into, I would say, a fairly decent movie. So 2.9.
Tim?
Yep, I guess as you can tell, I was really a big fan of this, and not just with my Elle Fanning bias, and because I really like her. This is up at a 3.6 for me. I really enjoyed this, and I'm eager to see more.
Nice. I think I'm going to land on a 3.8. And as much as the middle of the movie hurt it for me, I think as I look, like I'm thinking about it on a whole, I think what I appreciate about the movie is that you really see kind of this predator's world gets turned upside down very fast.
Yes.
And starts to question everything he's ever known. And while the slowness really hurt, I did think that made like you're not used to seeing a predator in a hero's journey, like, and so that
Right.
was kind of
He's
like
already
refreshing.
fully
Yeah, and, like,
formed predators.
he's a typical predator when the movie starts, and then his world is turned upside down.
Yeah.
Kind of like betrayal and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then like, you know, you see him be super kind of unsuccessful on the Death Planet when he first arrived, because he's still like, he's just all gung ho. I got to kill this beast. I need my honor. Like, I need to be part of my clan and stuff like that. And then it's almost like he doesn't come into his own of fighting until he realizes that that's not what he's fighting for anymore. And there's an aspect of that kind of story that I like.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we've just never seen a predator in that situation.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's what this movie was about: putting predator in situations where we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, and I thought it had, great visuals. CGI was great. I thought
so too.
Especially when like the predator's talking, and you know the fact that we got a whole movie of a predator talking in its native language is kind of cool and interesting.
Like he's in this obviously the actor's in this full-on makeup gear, and
So yeah, I think it can only bring more good movies, and that's what I'm excited about. So, but before we move on to the end, we did see a movie a couple weeks ago that we tried to record and then had technical difficulties, and we're not going to sit through that reviewing it again. No. But we will at least let you guys know what our rating was, so that you can add it to your list if you're keeping track at home, which I hope you all are.
Yes.
But we saw Good Fortune.
Yep. Good
Matt,
Fortune.
would you like to do a synopsis?
Well, sure. It's a movie where this guy
Aziz Ansari.
Yeah, he ends up switching roles with a rich guy. He's a poor guy. He
right.
Switches. Keanu Reeves is an angel.
Yeah.
And he learns his life lessons.
There it is.
So,
yep.
Yes, your typical Wonderful Life.
Why don't you go ahead and remind us what our scores were?
Yeah.
Yes.
So scores were, I gave it a 1.2.
Yep.
Todd had 1.7, and Tim liked it a little more with a 2. Giving us an average rating of 1.6 and a third. So
fitting.
Yeah, I think our consensus was this was Aziz Ansari's whole thing. He wrote, directed, and starred, and that didn't translate.
Yeah. It took the easiest, laziest possible way out as a movie, and I thought the concept could have been something really cool.
There were almost 3 movies fighting to be one.
Right.
Wonderful Life tropes, and you have this interesting Keanu Reeves character as an angel who's trying to earn his wings, and yet he's also kind of played for laughs and not taken seriously, and it's just like there's too much going on.
Yeah. None of the movies ends up winning out. So you get nothing good.
There's no Predator hero's journey in that movie.
There is not. So before we give our summation of Predator Badlands, Todd, I wanted to ask you a question. Something that you often don't like is when a villain is made to be humanized and made to be not bad and not full of evil.
Okay.
Did you feel that way at all about the Predator in this movie?
You mean our main Predator? I don't think I feel that way because I don't think he was ever portrayed as a villain.
Okay.
You know, like it wasn't like he was a villain and then they gave him the hero's journey or whatever. So I'm going to say no, but I'm glad you know that about me because it is a very big pet peeve of mine.
Oh,
and it's why I could not enjoy the movie Wicked.
Yes.
So, but no, I would say for me to feel the exact way about that is it has to be an established villain before the movie even starts. And they're going back to erase either old lore or kind of fit things in between just to make the villain, I don't know, a sympathetic character.
Well, it's funny, with the Elle Fanning connection, she played Aurora in the Maleficent movies, which also I thought were awful in trying to retcon Maleficent, who's considered one of the worst Disney villains ever, and they tried to humanize her and give her reasons why she became that way. And I don't like those movies because of that. And I'm with you on that.
It just, most of the time, it feels forced. And I blame Wicked, not the movie, the play, because I think that's where most of it started, in my opinion, was the creation of the play. Was it a book first?
I
think it was a play.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I blame Wicked, because I think it started a trend. Started slow, but now it's all over the place.
Yeah, very true.
And it's not earned like a... What can I compare it to? Like a Darth Vader death. Like, it's not earned in the sense of, like, this is an established villain, and at the last second, this guy's deciding, oh, what have I done with my life? I can change, I can be better,
And
I
it
can
wasn't
save
like full-on
someone.
redemption. It was more
Right.
of a,
These are just, let's go back and fill in gaps, but we want to make the gaps more compelling to the villain and not justify them being a villain, but then be like, oh, well, woe is them or whatever. In general, we just can't have a villain be a villain.
evil can't just be evil sometimes.
So you're not in favor of the Big Bad Wolf backstory cartoon that I have written down at home,
Not at all.
where he's
Nope.
he's shown to be a sympathetic
Yeah,
character.
he's just trying to get food for his family
That's
so they
right.
don't die in like somewhere
right.
in a den or
He's
something.
gonna huff and puff and try and put pigs on the table.
Man, it's just gonna come out that when the pigs like reported this problem with the it was just all a lie, and like we've all been knowing the Big Bad Wolf in a wrong way. Like the pigs lied. It's the pig's fault. I mean, that is Wicked. Like, it is not the bad person's fault. It's the Wizard of Oz's fault. They're the real kind of bad
Oz is
person
the,
or whatever.
Wizard is the bad guy.
Yeah, I just wrote a second Wicked with the Three Little Pigs.
There you go.
There you go.
Look for it in 2 summers.
They could definitely be in the world of Oz. All those characters. All right, so let's bring this all back home
back.
There we
to
go.
Predator Badlands. We reviewed this movie tonight. We watched it, and we gave it an average rating of 3.4 and a third. And that's a good rating, and we say go see it, and we think you'll like it. And go see it in theaters, because it's a nice big visual, good movies.
And honestly, if you've seen movies like us a lot, and the CGI is just not comparing anymore for some reason, like we keep seeing movies and it feels like the CGI is getting worse. But this one I felt really came strong with it.
Like I said, they're like Elle Fanning's torso is a star of half the movie, and I thought they made that work as much as they can with the synthetic robots, which always look a little off at times. But I thought it worked in this setting because we've seen it before in other alien movies.
Right. Well, also, I kind of feel like this is the first movie where we saw the Predator actually fight with a fighting style. Like, instead of just being large and clunky and just kind of doing whatever, relying on its gadgets, we saw a lot of, martial arts sword play in this. Like, even a whip at one point, which I truly enjoyed.
Yes. And bow and arrow even, too.
Well, they brought in a bow and arrow, and then it immediately... That was also, like... No, this is not a spoiler, but one of my favorite parts was when the Predator's laying out his hunting gear and like all of his, and then everything gets like destroyed right off the bat. Like it all he has is a sword.
Tree creature.
And you're like, all right, this movie actually felt like a video game.
It
like
did.
You have an established character who has all the advantage in the world. Crash land, strip the good things. You start basic, and then you get more.
You gotta level up.
You go. I may have seen that they might be making a Predator Badlands game.
That would be
would be really fun to me.
I agree.
They should. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies. I already gave you the score, but I will say thank you for listening. Please continue listening and downloading our glorious podcast. Subscribe and like it. And we
had a 503 download week the other week.
We did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, that must have been a bot.
The whole library.
We typically will get like a 150 or 120. This was the first I've ever seen that was like 500 and something. It was like 503.
We got double botted.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We'll take it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, all right. We will see you next time.
Da 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 da.
Da da da.